I propose they do trade Jordan Poole. You keep Steph, you keep Klay, you keep Dre, okay? Any other part is potentially expendable. I'm not saying get rid of everybody, not by any stretch of imagination. But if you can trade Poole for something where he can be a more primary option, go ahead and do it. If Wiggins, again, you want to keep Wiggins, but you need a big to help Draymond to some degree because they were undersized in the postseason.
Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer wonders whether we could see LeBron getting himself traded to the Dubs, the Warriors. LeBron has openly talked about wanting to play with Draymond and Steph, and the trade could bring young players and picks back to the Lakers.
A famous guy once said, "The only permanent thing in this world is change." And for the Golden State Warriors, a lot of changes will definitely happen in the upcoming weeks of this offseason. The Bob Myers era is long gone, and now, newly hired GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. is literally gonna have a busy day at the office planning for his next move as he tries to bring the Dubs back on top of the food chain. And speaking of moves, there are many trade rumors being thrown around out there surrounding the Dubs, and to tickle our minds a bit, let's try to break down some realistic trade scenarios and see if it will fly for them or not. Well, to open things up, let's quickly go back for the big fish, which is Karl-Anthony Towns. For this trade scenario, the Warriors have to give up Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and their number 19 pick in the draft to get KAT in return. Now, I know that's a bit too much in terms of assets that the Dubs would give up, but on the flip side, I think this trade might just be the quickest way for them to get back into contention without dismantling their core. Now, I know Warriors fans are ready to get their pitchforks out and call this trade ridiculous, but hear me out. As Stephen A. said in the intro, the Dubs got exposed by the Lakers for their lack of size, and in the regular season, they were helpless against heavyweight teams like the Nuggets, Bucks, and 76ers, cause Draymond and Looney have no chance in defending their respective unicorns. With KAT added to the mix, the Warriors would now have a solid presence down low that can hold the fort against Giannis, Jokic, or Embiid. And on the offensive end, this dude can cause some major problems with his ability to put the ball on the floor and attack relentlessly towards the rim while knocking down threes at a high rate. I mean, take a look at this. Imagine this is Chase Center and Steph was the one who passed the ball to him. Now, after just taking one dribble from the logo, look at how KAT just casually splashes this one through, as if he was channeling his inner Steph. I mean, his confidence in taking threes is just at an insane level right now. And KAT can also destroy defenses on his own by using two giant steps, and I'm 100% sure that no one would dare to put himself in harm's way when he's going downhill at full speed like that. Stat-wise, KAT is a career 40% three-point shooter, and he actually has the credentials to become the third member of the Splash Brothers. I mean, for the sake of comparison, Steph is a career 42.8% three-point shooter, while Klay is just a little bit below Steph with 41.6%. On top of his shooting consistency from beyond the arc, this guy is a walking double-double, averaging 23 and 11 throughout his career, and he also tallies 1.3 blocks per game, and not to mention that he's also pretty slick in the two-point region, as he currently averages 52.6% from the field. So yeah, I think KAT is a pretty solid grab should they want to bolt back to the championship scene in no time. Anyways, for the next trade, let's move up the border and check out what's happening over in Toronto. Following Nick Nurse's recent departure, it seems that the Raptors' higher-ups are looking to shake things up, and with this said, I think the Dubs can barge into the picture by trading for Pascal Siakam. Now, to do this, the Warriors would probably need to give up JP3, JK, and their 19th overall pick in the upcoming draft. This would be a great acquisition for the Dubs, because number one, Siakam has already been to the top. I mean, as a former champion back in 2019, the onboarding process as well as the integration of Siakam to the Dubs system is definitely going to be seamless since the Dubs are no stranger to winning titles. Offensively, Siakam is a solid rebounder that can make you pay from the mid-range. Now, on the defensive end, he plays really hard and carries a blue-collar mentality with the way he hustles for loose balls and attempts to get steals. Over the last 4 seasons, this 2-time All-Star averaged 21.4 points a ball game on 47% shooting, and the only downside I'm seeing here is that he's not a good 3-point shooter, as he's only averaged 32.7% in his career. Well, nonetheless, this is still a pretty good trade, cause Siakam offers a lot to the table on both ends, especially his tenacity on the defensive side of the ball. Anyways, moving on here. The next trade might raise the eyebrows of some, but for me, this is a deal that can benefit both teams involved at the end of the day. In this trade deal, the Warriors will trade either JP3 or Draymond in exchange for Ben Simmons and a kicker. Now, I know some of you are not on board with this one because of Simmons' off and on court issues, as well as the fact that he can't stop shooting bricks. And believe me, I totally get it. The dude screams bum. But please hear me out. The reason why I'm so confident that this will work is because I have faith in the Dubs organization. I mean, as we all know, they're really good at unleashing the true potential of their players, and they can make the quote-unquote washed players revert to their all-star forms. See, if you remember some years back, Andrew Wiggins was a rising star that won Rookie of the Year, but after some time, his game began to plunge, bit by bit to the point that he found himself playing backup behind Karl-Anthony Towns and Zach LaVine as the third best player of that team. Now, when he got traded to the Warriors, Wiggins all of a sudden unlocked his untapped defensive prowess and became a solid two-way player that played a vital role in their championship run 2 seasons ago. See, the same thing happened to players like Andre Iguodala, Andrew Bogut, and Sean Livingston. I mean, the Dubs basically acquired guys at the tail end of their careers since no other team believed in them anymore. But then after joining Golden State, these guys flourished and became key contributors in their championship run over the last decade. Ben Simmons' case is no different, and with the help and guidance of Steve Kerr, Steph, Klay, and the rest of the crew, I really do believe that Simmons would have somewhat of a chance to regain his all-star form. When healthy, Simmons is a menace on the defensive end that can lock down opponents using his incredible length and frame. This dude once led the league in steals back in 2020, and he was also nominated twice as part of the all-defensive first team, so you know that he can hang with the best of them defensively on any given night. Now, my only concern here about Simmons is his ability to score and tendency to become a huge liability on the offensive end. But see, whenever he activates his aggressive mindset, Simmons can give you 14 to 17 points a night, and I really do believe that this can only happen if he goes to a team that has a strong culture of making players better like Golden State. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, until next time.